We close out this Saturday night here in Week 26. Some USL League One action from Tucson, Arizona. It's FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers tonight from Keno Sports Complex. A big game for both of these teams. Basically a must-win for the Richmond Kickers, and the same can be said for the home side and FC Tucson. And as of late for FC Tucson, it has not gone to script. 9-0 in the past two matches, and they've been on the wrong side of both of those results. Let's take a look at some players to watch. We start with Kyle Venter for FC Tucson, one of the leaders of this team. He also has 4 goals on the season, and he has been one of those leaders that has really stepped up and tried to provide a voice for this FC Tucson side through this tough time. Him, along with Jose Terron and Cody Wakasa, have all stepped up. And when talking with Darren Sawatsky, he said it's great for younger guys to look at these experienced players and say, this stuff happens. Sometimes you go through a low period, but we're still lucky that we're still in it, and that's where FC Tucson is now. On the other side for the Richmond Kickers and Joe Gallardo, this is a player, he did not play at all last year, was not on a team, eventually finds himself in Richmond at the beginning of this season. And we're talking with David Bulow about him. He says he's so young and he's such a special player. Look at this goal against Tormenta, just going through players. He always knew he had the ability to score, David Bulow said, and Joe Gallardo has really turned it on as of late, providing a spark for this Richmond team as they try to basically do the improbable and get into the playoffs. So stay with us here on this Saturday night. It's Richmond and it's FC Tucson. Major playoff implications, lineups, and first kick coming up next from Tucson here on ESPN+. Back here in Tucson, the team's taking to the pitch here tonight. FC Tucson and Richmond tonight from Keno Sports Complex. It will be Richmond in all white, and it will be Tucson in all black. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for both sides. We will take a look at the home side first, coached by Darren Sawatsky. 2 changes from their 4-0 loss at Greenville. And the 2 guys up top, Jones and Jamga, they will be the 2 that pull the strings at the top. Carlos Marancio also in goal for the 2nd straight week here for FC Tucson and Darren Sawatsky. On the other side for the Richmond Kickers, coached by David Bulow, 2 changes as well coming off of their loss against Forward Madison. Daniel Jackson is into the lineup tonight, while Scott Thompson, who came off the bench last week, is also into the lineup as one of those two wingbacks with himself and Eli Lockaby, who will look to provide the width for this Richmond Kickers side. It's basically a win or go home scenario for the Richmond Kickers. They come into tonight with 28 points. Let's take a look at tonight's Banner University Medicine injury report. It's Keenan Weeks and Raheem Summersall, while Amankona is out for Richmond. So that is the injury report for both sides, and we are just about ready to get going tonight from FC Tucson. Tucson closing out this season at home. This is the first of 4 straight road games they'll also play on Tuesday. Underway here from Keno Sports Complex. It's FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers. FC Tucson will go right to left, and the Richmond Kickers left to right. Both these teams coming in needing 3 points. But who will come away with that tonight? If either team does come away with 3 points, Richmond comes in currently in 9th place with 28. While FC Tucson comes in 7th place with 31 points. Both these two teams played the least amount of games at 24. This is their 25th game. So they do still have a game in hand against a few other teams. But for Richmond, being at 28 points, they have to win out and then get some help. They lost control of their own destiny after last week's loss to Madison. And on the other side for FC Tucson, they've kind of been hanging around at 31 points, but 2 straight losses come on the heels after 2 straight wins. So they have been stuck at 31 points as Lamar Batista will keep this in at the end line. Turon, a high looping cross towards the back post. And this will be controlled by Scott Thompson, and he'll be able to clear it away. I'm talking with David Bulow about that Madison game. He thought overall it was an even game, but in the end it was frustrating. They gave up that 1 goal very early on. It came in the 6th minute. But he thought his team had good chances in the first half. They had moments where they didn't punish Madison when they potentially had some mistakes at the back, and overall they come away with a 1-0 loss. On the other side for Richmond, boy, it's been a tough 2 weeks. They've lost 2 games by a combined 9-0. Started 5-0 against Lansing here a few weeks ago, and then last Friday at Greenville 4-0. Talking with Darren Sawatsky, he said it was kind of difficult just based on the game getting delayed and such, but once they got on the field, they just weren't ready to go, is what Darren Sawatsky said, and they were punished for it. Carlos Gomez coming with a hat trick for Greenville, and it was a loss in the end for Tucson, and a long trip back here to Tucson, Arizona after that loss. So tonight, both these teams in desperate need of 3 points if they want to find themselves in the playoffs. But we'll see how it all shakes out here tonight. Richmond coming on the road, and Tucson trying to defend their home field. Overall this season, Tucson 5-2-3 at home. They play the least amount of home games in USL League One, although this is their first of 4 straight to end this season. Kept in play here by Kraft, possessed by Troyer now, and Jones applying some pressure, and he's able to win it back. Can he keep possession? He can. Wide for Turon now. He's playing in a forward position here on this left side tonight for Tucson. Spent some time at left back as well this season. You can see the pressure by Tucson right out of the gate here early in this match, trying to come out on the front foot. Now it's Richmond looking to come forward. Player down in the middle. Referee Reina Fonseca, as Joe Gallardo is the one who went down. Like Cody Wakasa took him out. Another look at it here. Just taking out those legs as Gallardo tried to keep play moving up the pitch. David Bulow says Gallardo is exactly what we need in the model that they like to play. And he has really flourished as of late so far. 6 goals on the season. Those 2 goals against Tormenta. It's one of the better performances you'll see in all of USL League One this entire season. The second goal especially. Just going through players, a nutmeg in the end, and then the finish. It was just a beautiful goal. You saw it in the open. It's won back by Wheeler Amanu. Switch of the play to the far side for Luke Hosworth. I'm trying to advance it. Eventually it's cleared out for a throw-in. Darren Sawatsky said it this week. He said his team just has to get back to basics. But he's excited to see what the response is going to be, saying it's in our hands and they have to go win. And so far they've come out on the front foot in this match. Let's see how energetic they are on the volley, and this is out of play. And a goal kick coming for Akira Fitzgerald, who comes in with 64 saves on the season. This Richmond side with 8 clean sheets, Tucson with just 4. It's the second least in all of USL League One this season. A look at David Bulow, the head man in his second season in charge of this Richmond Kickers side. Spent so much time in 2 different stints, over 100 appearances for the Richmond Kickers as a player. He's a coach that is always looking forward to a challenge, and boy, do they have a challenge in front of them. They want to find themselves into the playoffs this season. They have got to win out and then get a little bit of help as well. A giveaway by Tyrone. Looking for Daniel Jackson as this one is headed back to Carlos Marancio in goal. Eric Vergen being chased by Joe Gallardo. We'll see who really decides to open up first here and really start to go for it. I wonder if this first half could be a bit subdued before it wakes up in the second half. With this game just being so important for both of these teams. Here's Jomga on the ball. Always a dangerous player. Here's Riley Kraft, the newly signed player just a few weeks ago out of Roseville, California, so back in the western part of the United States for Riley Kraft. Giveaway by Matt Bolduck. Trying to find Jones at the top of the formation. It's won back here by Richmond. And eventually giveaway. And now a throw-in coming for FC Tucson. A look at Darren Sawatsky, head man for FC Tucson, trying to find out what has been up with his defense these past 2 matches. And trying to get it back on track for these final 4. Huge week ahead, especially after this one, with matches against Greenville and Madison, both at home. Those will be 2 very important matchups, really no matter what happens tonight. Akwe trying to play through the middle for Troyer. Richmond, a team that likes to spend time on the ball when possible. The third and final match between these 2 teams. They met on May 11th. That was in Richmond, a 2-0 win. Gallardo and Mwape scoring the 2 goals. And then on June 8th, right here at Keno Sports Complex, a 0-0 draw between these 2 sides. David Bulow bringing it back to where it should be, and then Lamar Batista will advance the ball, and now they'll have to bring it back. See what Richmond has done on the road, 4-7-1. They will try to make that 5-7-1, or they'll have to if they want to stay in this playoff race. As Akwe was fouled, but play will continue here with Megales. Tehran applying some pressure. Richmond able to play through it here in the meantime. Ball played over the top. This one will go out of play. A throw-in now for FC Tucson once again. Through 10 minutes here from Kino Sports Complex. The last 5 matches for the Richmond Kickers, 2-3 wins at Tormenta and at home against Greenville. That was a big win against Greenville. Triumph, that 1-0 victory. And losses twice to Madison, home and away. And then a match at North Texas where they really struggled, a 4-0 loss in that one. Here's Tyrone looking to play it wide. Quickly won back by the Richmond Kickers. And Fitzgerald will send this out of play. Osworth to throw it back in. Who will have that first attacking opportunity in this match? Here's Batista. We'll go over the top. Looking for Jamga, and it's one back. Dangerous to play it into the middle. And eventually it's cleared away for a throw-in. See Tucson out on the front foot here early. Here's Vergen playing it wide. Trying to find Osworth. He couldn't quite get it to him. Now it's Howell. For Tyrone in the middle. Now it's Batista. Here's Howell trying to play it wide. Eventually it's cut out by Richmond. Just probing this back line now. Here's Batista, able to get by a couple of defenders. The left back getting into the attack. Shinosky was there to clear it away. Akwe. This will stay in play with Lockaby. That's sent back downfield. Shielded out by Batista. Pardon me, Howell. Now Batista will come over for the throw-in. Batista could be setting up here for a long throw-in. See what the decision is here. Exactly what they're doing. Just getting some more players forward. They'll take it short as Gallardo. Big height differential between those two. Now a ball sent in. Fitzgerald off his line. He's able to knock it away. And then Thompson gets taken down, and that will be a foul. Thompson gets taken out from behind. Rita Fonseca, the referee, was right on top of it. And we'll give it back to the Richmond Kickers. A ball sent over the top by Tyrone. Fitzgerald really couldn't get two hands on it. And then Jordan Jones just taking out Thompson. Now it's Richmond's turn to try to build forward. And they'll have a throw-in. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Troyer in the middle. Looking to go over the top. Looking for Riley Kraft. Venter heads up play to let that go past the end line and out for a goal kick. Marancio will put this back in play. Now for FC Tucson. His first start against Orlando City B earlier this season. He's back on June 12th, and he's pretty much split time with Philip Ejimadu. Now Turon to the end line, his cross a little bit too far. And on the volley, the shot taken well out of play by Ramon Howell. And another goal kick now for Akira Fitzgerald. So we're through a first quarter of an hour. Both teams fairly content, I think, with how things have gone so far, but the opportunities haven't quite been there for the Richmond Kickers. FC Tucson has really applied some pressure and put Richmond under pressure. Sent back here for Batista. And wide for Turon. Slip it inside. Turon now gets it back. Another cross towards the back post. Headed back across and out of play. The opportunity was there. Looked like Devin Jamga got his head to it, but not able to direct it on frame. Another look at it. A high looping cross. Jamga was battling for position there with Scott Thompson. Jamga's such an active player for this FC Tucson side. Aaron Sawatsky calls him a downhill runner, supreme athlete. He said earlier in the season he was getting better technically. So far this season with 5 goals and an assist. But where will the goals come from tonight for FC Tucson? Just 1 goal in their last 3 matches. Haven't scored in the last 2. So you see what both teams have done in the first half. Shanoski will look to go over the top. Coming in, you just saw, with 8 first half goals. Tormenta has actually less with 7. So Richmond usually like to let the game play out before they score their goals. Maybe not exactly how David Bulow wants it, but that's just how it's gone this season for Richmond. It's been an up and down season for the Kickers. It's a bit of a slow start getting out of the gate. They did win at the end of April and into the beginning of May, 4 out of 5 with a draw sandwich in between. Howell looked like he had a through ball there for Jamga. It's cut out, and Richmond now can come away with it. Advantage being played. Here's Matt Bolduc. It's won back by Tucson. Can they spark something here? Jamga's ahead, Turon's in the middle, plenty of room to work. He likes it on his left foot, he'll go with his right. And it's saved by Fitzgerald. Called into duty here in the 19th minute. A good opportunity with a lot of room to work there in the middle for Jose Turon. Once again, a giveaway right in the midfield as Richmond tries to play out. Ramon Howell. Still Ramon Howell. Now he'll play it wide and just not on the same page there as Tyrone. And look at this opportunity here. Wheeler Amanu into the middle. Tyrone on his weaker right foot. Just strike right at Fitzgerald, and a good save in the end. Brought down by Cody Wakasa. Can Tucson provide into the attack again? There's Kraft tracking back, and then a giveaway. Batista, unfortunate deflection there. Akwe battling for it. And eventually he'll be fouled by Lamar Batista. A free kick deep in their own defensive half for the Richmond Kickers now. Lamar Batista's played some center back this year, but because of his left foot, spending some time at left back. 6'5" Oklahoma City native. He's on loan from LAFC. Actually made 2 starts earlier in the season with Phoenix Rising. In the last 2 seasons with Portland Timbers 2. Batista, you can see what he can do aerially. Jones tries to run into it as it's headed back for Akira Fitzgerald. Here's Shinosky. Put it up by Jackson. And Lockerbie gives it away. Diagonal ball, looking for Jomga to use his speed to run into it. He does. Jones is in the middle trying to find him. Couldn't get it by Ivan Magales. Richmond now will look to play out again. Beautifully done there by Akira Fitzgerald. And won back by Tucson. It's been difficult to play out through the midfield for Richmond. It falls for Wheeler Amanu, and a shot saved by Fitzgerald. Nothing he could do but parry that aside and out for a corner kick. Boy, that really opened up for Wheeler Amanu. A similar goal to what he scored earlier this season while playing for Phoenix Rising. Scored in the home match against Tulsa for Phoenix Rising in USL Championship. And nearly won there for Tucson. He does have 2 goals here in USL League One. Here's the corner kick by Eric Vergen towards that back post. And header just a little bit too tall. That was a wide open header there at the back post. Fitzgerald lucky to see that go over the bar. Another look at it here. Just lofted towards that back post. Was nearly there. Looked like Kyle Venter. As Fitzgerald puts it back in play. Quickly won back. Tucson's winning all of those first balls. Here's Batista. Using that big frame to shield off defenders. Throw in now for Tucson. It's Jordan Jones who went to ground. Play continues. Akwe now cornered. Wins the throw in. Now Akwe goes down, and they'll need a moment. asking now for the trainer to come on to the field. A warm desert night in Tucson, although temperatures a little cooler at 85 degrees after the sun has gone down. And Aquay will get some attention here from the training staff. Take this moment to tell you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And maybe decision time for David Bulow if Aquay cannot continue. They don't really have a true center back on their bench tonight. I think Maxi Rodriguez might be the closest if they want to stay at their 3 center back system. And Aquay looks like he'll be okay to continue in a moment. This one is taken out of play, and Aquay is back on. And there he is. Batista the throw-in now. Taken away by Batista. Boy, he's been active tonight from his left back spot. Wheeler Amanu now in the middle for Ramon Howell. Osworth plays it wide for Jamga. Osworth the cross, headed away by Shanoski. Falls for Howell. Trying to find a window to shoot. Cuts back inside, takes a deflection, and nearly fell for Jordan Jones. Jackson trying to keep it for Richmond. Gallardo's there as well. And maybe something here for the Richmond Kickers. Jackson in possession. Wakasa breathing down his neck. And the ball trickles out for a throw-in. Howell so active in the midfield, using his strength to push away Braden Troyer. Howell's actually on the bench for Phoenix Rising's 1-0 win at Las Vegas last week. So getting some time with the USL Championship side. Phoenix also in action tonight, a big match against Fresno, top of the Western Conference. That match still scoreless at Chuck Chansey Park in Fresno. Goes all the way back now for Carlos Marancio. Well past the midway point of this first half. Tucson have had the chances. Richmond, they've really struggled to get it into attacking areas so far. So far, 6 shots for Tucson and none for the Richmond Kickers. Not really the start that they had envisioned. Sure, the Red Army that's staying up late to watch this one. Baja Bean Company looking for something to celebrate here tonight. Some other finals earlier tonight in USL League One. Lansing and Tormenta, a 1-1 draw. And then Chattanooga and Orlando, a 2-1 win for the Red Wolves. And boy, that was not an easy game for Chattanooga without Stephen Beattie, without Vangel Zaguro. They still are able to find that second goal in the second half to come away with the victory there. And they're now level on points with Forward Madison. We'll get into all of that playoff talk, though, at halftime. So stay tuned for that. All the way back for Kyle Venter. Here's Ramon Howell. This match has been dominated by FC Tucson. It seems like everything has been here on the left side of midfield from our camera angle. Here's Wakasa. Now Venter in possession. At the half-hour mark, it's Tucson 0 and it's Richmond 0. Looking for that opening goal. Major playoff implications. Maybe something here coming for Richmond. Wahab Akwe slips it aside for Riley Kraft. His shot's blocked. The first shot of the match for the Richmond Kickers. And it eventually comes out for a throw-in. That was positive there for the Kickers, just unable to get it past the defender there. It was Venter with the big block. Boy, has he been big in defense this year for this Richmond side. Now it's Wakasa. Ball played over the top, off to that far side. Magales gets pushed down, and that will be the flag up on the far side by the AR. Otherwise, I think that would have gone out for a corner kick without the foul, but will eventually go back here to the Richmond Kickers. Richmond, a team that usually likes to spend some time on the ball. They really haven't had that tonight so far. At least in a positive direction. They've had about 50% of the possession, so it's pretty even both ways, but they really haven't been able to build forward much at all. Free kick. Now for Tucson. As Jordan Jones got pushed down. They'll have to take this one back as they tried to play quickly. But such a big part of this three-back system for Richmond is the use of their wing backs. Tonight, it's Scott Thompson on the left, Eli Lockaby here on the right. David Bilo says it's very important that they give the width to this formation. The ball's played over the top and headed away by Akwe. They have to cause some challenges for the back line. Here they'll have to do some defending. It's Eli Lockaby. Now it's Cody Wakasa probing. Deflects off Riley Kraft and out of play. David Bilo has said they've struggled a little bit when their wingbacks don't get forward enough, and it's important that they stay involved in the attack. So keep an eye on that as this match continues with Scott Thompson and Eli Lockaby providing service into the box for the likes of Daniel Jackson, maybe even Joe Gallardo as well, though we've seen Joe Gallardo create plenty on his own this year. Beautiful tackle there by Ivan Magales to win it back for Richmond. And Gallardo, a well-timed tackle, and Kraft comes away with it. Bergen was bearing down on him. Ball played over the top, looking for Daniel Jackson. Headed back here for Joe Gallardo. Now it's Jackson. And a missed kick. Morencio off his line to make the catch. Here's Bolduc. As we get in this final 11 minutes of the first half, a goal could really change the complexion of this game. Tucson a bit on the front foot in terms of attacking moments. Richmond here in the past few minutes have started to trickle forward a little bit, start to find their opportunities. Lockaby unable to keep it in play on the service and distribution by Fitzgerald at the back. Wheeler Amanu coming into the middle, slipping it inside for Jordan Jones and out for a goal kick. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content? Follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Jordan Jones trying to find himself a little bit more involved as this match continues. Seems like everything in this midfield for FC Tucson starts with number 50, Eric Vergen, a youngster out of the University of New Mexico. Also spent some time in the RSL Academy as Jordan Jones gets on the ball. That's played back for Vergen. We talked with Darren Sawatsky about Vergen. He called him a very clever player. Said he has good bite to him, but the job is really to develop him. And here he'll have to defend. Jackson for Lockaby. Couldn't quite get it back for Jackson making the run. It's cleared out for a throw-in. Coming up tomorrow in USL League One, Madison and North Texas. The final home match of the season for Forward Madison. Won't want to miss that one. 5 Eastern right here on ESPN+. Very much looking forward to that one. Headed down by Jackson. Eventually cleared away. We've seen Dennis Chin get some opportunities at that striker position. But he did not make the trip here to Tucson for this match here tonight. So it's really up to Daniel Jackson to provide those moments for the number 9. Jones gets taken down by Troyer. Does he see himself in the book? No. Play will be brought back here. A second ago, Gallardo and Batista getting tangled up. Good sportsmanship between the two. Just going hard for the ball. Height differential between those two. Gallardo at 5'10", and it's Batista at 6'5". Here's Gallardo, playing it wide, looking for Jackson if he can keep this in, and he will. Wakasa there defending. Jackson commits the foul. A yellow card was issued by Reina Fonseca. Track down who got that yellow card. Gallardo finds himself in the book for the Richmond Kickers. So the first player into the book tonight for Richmond. And that is a big yellow card because Joe Gallardo misses the next match for the Richmond Kickers. That is absolutely massive and a very big development. Should Richmond win this match tonight, he would miss Chattanooga on the road next Saturday. And if Richmond win this game tonight, which they have to stay alive in the playoff picture, he would miss that game on another crucial match for Richmond. But I guess to live another day, you got to win this one tonight. The focus is still at hand, but to find a replacement for Gallardo, at least for next week. Here's Troyer. He gets pushed down. Play will be brought back, the foul. As Troyer back to his feet. He actually missed the North Texas match a few weeks ago. A holding midfielder right in front of that back line of 3 center backs for Richmond. You can hear in the background somebody on the Tucson bench yelling "go," and whenever you hear that, you know that's when the press is going to start. It's very important that this team presses together, and you see this all throughout world football now, with pressing being used more and more as a tactic, that you have to press together. If you press as individuals, sometimes you're not always on the same page, and you can leave some gaps for teams to exploit and then move upfield as you try to win the ball back. We've seen that used a lot this season, especially with Lansing Ignite and their counter-pressing tactic. Batista will look to throw this into the box, getting bodies forward now. And they'll take it short. Turon. Now he'll send it in towards the top of the box. It's headed away. Eventually falls for Luke Osworth. We'll send this towards the back post. Fitzgerald punches it away. Venture will be the one to let this roll out for a throw-in. Here's Batista. And Gallardo's done that a few times. I mean, he can stand right there, and he's trying to affect Batista throwing it in. Headed back into the middle. Boy, that was a dangerous deflection there by Richmond. And this will trickle out again in a long throw, and once again, I'm sure we'll see Gallardo try to affect this one another time, and now getting a talking to by Reyna Fonseca. I mean, he has the right. Maybe has to stand a couple of yards away, but now David Bulow ushering him away. Batista. Very patient with these long throw-ins. This one all the way into the box. Back towards the top. The shot. And Ramon Howell sends it into the Tucson Knight. The practice field's just behind this main field here at Keno Sports Complex. Always get a bunch of MLS teams who come down here to Tucson for preseason training. It's also the home of spring training before the Rockies moved up to the Phoenix area. Player just goes down. It looks like that's Wheeler Amanu. Wonder if that's just cramping as he fell straight down to the turf. Take another look at it. It looked like a non-contact thing. He went down. You hope for Wheeler Amanu he can continue tonight as Darren Sawatsky looks on. Other midfield options, Carson Hanlon, Colin Stripling. He's back on his feet. Wheeler Amanu comes off. It looks like that could be the end of his night by that reaction. And it will be a substitution. It's Colin Stripling to come on for FC Tucson. He will come in at the next possible moment. But Colin Stripling being forced into duty, making his 9th appearance once he comes on. And that's a big loss here for FC Tucson. Wheeler Amanu has been a very big player for this Tucson side. Over the top for Jackson, and Marancio off his line. He is able to collect it. Now here's Eric Vergen. Remember, FC Tucson playing with 10 men at the moment. This ball over the top, a foot race, and this will go out of play. And the first sub of the night, it is Colin Stripling to come on. So he will assume that box-to-box role for FC Tucson. There will be 3 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of this first half. We would like to thank First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, for providing our ball kids for tonight's match. All the way back for Marancio. Over the top now for Tyrone. Is there something left in this first half? Big clearance by Magales. It looks like a throw-in coming for FC Tucson, and Lamar Batista taking the very slow walk over to the opposite side from his position tonight. Another long throw-in here coming for FC Tucson. It's a good weapon to have if you can use it. Batista able to get it past the first man, Daniel Jackson. Still Batista to the end line. It's out for a corner kick. It's the first of the match here for FC Tucson. It'll be Jose Tyrone to take. Player goes down in the box for Richmond. Quickly back up towards the back post. Venture got his head to it. And that is the end of this first 45 minutes. We didn't quite get the 3 minutes, but that will be it for this first 45. No goals to split these two sides, and it seems like it's a must-win game for both of these teams. Make some second half adjustments, and we'll see what comes in the second 45 minutes. There's Joe Gallardo. A yellow card is probably see him try to go all out in this second half, as he will miss next week due to yellow card accumulation. So it's halftime, 45 minutes down, 45 to go. It's FC Tucson nil. It's the Richmond Kickers nil. Halftime between FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers. We're finishing up week 26, but week 25 featured 25 goals. Let's go check them out.
The opposite is so for North Texas FC as they start quickly down the right flank. This will stay in play. Donzo on the run, plays it in. Demas there and heads it up and in. Ronaldo Demas, there's the Golden Boot leader. And now a new fastest goal in League One history. Ball back the other way. North Texas on the run. Demas through. Demas striking it home. A brace for the Hastings striker. Ellis shoots it in. Demas brings it down. Rodriguez cuts and fires in. Still looking. Reyes. Demas. Still Demas. Strikes it on past Fitzgerald. Have a hat trick, sir.
And the Orlando goalkeeper on a show. Here's a shot, and it's in. The opening goal for Orlando City B. Be able to. Now it's Petrasso. Back for Faria. The cross in the middle. Perusa trying to find a goal, and he does. A second goal for Jordan Perusa, and it gives Toronto FC to the lead.
Had at least 4 goals, so we might be in store for some great action. Up and just squeezing on by Aviles, and as if on cue to start this match, just like the other two tonight. Tormenta on the board, 1-0. Donzo on the run against Hara. Stopped by Arsen, back in on the second chance. Rips it in, finds the back post. Ball in the box, looking for Danny Tenorio, and he slaps it home. Forward Madison strike first. A road goal for the Flamingos. Saul strikes it, stops, another go, up and in. The triumph on the board. It'll knock on Saul the strike. Knocked up by Batista. Touchdown, up and in. A mistake at the back. Ball lofted in, headed up by Batista. Still alive, Donnelly strikes it through the leg. Gomez again, and Gomez hat trick.
For second in the league in USL League One. He's got an opportunity for another. Curls and scores! Oh, Zaguro gets Chattanooga off to a dream start. An incredible corner. The win here tonight. They're going to do something they haven't done all season long. But here's Rafa Mintz again towards the D. Mintz again, shot! And we are level at 1. Rafa Mintz again. Ball curled in towards the 18. Shot and a goal! Here comes Pato. He's one of those goal scorers. Lays it off. Moshobani in the 18. Moshobani! 2-2. His way through to Pato. The 1-2. Stepping up. Shot and a goal. Out of the way. Temporarily. Volley attempt by Sayane was blocked. Comes through, shot, and a goal, and we're level at 3. Moshobani again, back heel, Moshobani! He did it again! Toomey, Moshobani, 4-3, Lansing.
Plenty of goals to go around in week 25. The most in 1 week. That Arturo Rodriguez goal, though, was goal of the week, and it really stood out among the rest. But you see 3 players scoring their first League One goal of the season. Pretty cool there, along with 3 players having a brace. North Texas Soccer Club, your inaugural USL League One champions here in the regular season. The first team to 50 points, the first team to 15 wins as well. And they get to host throughout the USL League One playoffs as long as they keep winning. That first match, the semifinal, will be October 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern in Frisco, Texas. So everything goes through Frisco. And then right below them, Lansing trying to hold on to that second spot. Greenville trying to do the same for the third. It's a race for the 4th spot between Forward Madison, Tormenta, and just about everybody else. But the run-in is tough for a lot of these teams. Take a look at FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers. Richmond basically has to win out if they want to find themselves in, plus get a little help, while Tucson few wins wouldn't hurt the cause either, but they do have 2 matches this week against Greenville and Madison before closing out against North Texas. So now let's go check out what's going on around the USL.
That's what going to left foot, Jamal Johnson. What a goal! Perfectly played. With one touch to settle, and now it's behind the top of the net. Black stays down, and Indy 11 has a one. Ball struck towards the 18, headed on, and headed home.
Inside glancing header, and he caps it off with the goal of the night.
I think they want dangerous play call. That one served in the back of the net. Fresno out of nowhere.
Milton serves it into the back post. It's off the woodwork and it's in.
That's in the back of the net. Another cross
Into the corner, and Hubbard does even better.
Moberg's gonna take a shot on goal with a cross and a fantastic save.
Good shot for Blackwood. Nice play by Van Oakland
To force him to give the ball up. Illich saved. Second in the league in USL League One. He's got an opportunity for another curls and scores. Oh, Seguro. Moshobani again. Back heel, Moshobani! He did it again!
Whips it in, finds the back post. Oh, what a finish, Arturo Rodriguez. Through ball though, Demas the other way, Demas saved by Hara.
In the middle, still Jaden Nelson. His shot, it's saved again by Giuliano Chache.
Wide open. Fitzgerald covering the mark, still Rodriguez, and stopped by Fitzgerald.
Some news and notes from around USL League One. North Texas and Lansing have clinched their spot in the playoffs. North Texas, the champions in the regular season. Lansing with their draw tonight against Tormenta, trying to hold down that second spot. And then below them, Greenville might have a hold on that third playoff position, but fourth place very much still up for grabs. Player of the week, Carlos Gomez, a hat trick in that big win last week. The assist leaders, Matt Bolduc, the only player in this matchup on the screen, but Arturo Rodriguez at the top with 9 assists to go along with his 7 goals. Now Bolduc doesn't have any goals this season with those 6 assists. You take a look at the scoreboard. Lansing and Tormenta draw. Chattanooga gets a big 3 points over Orlando City. It was an easy win for the Red Wolves, and yesterday Greenville triumphed over Toronto 3-1. That we'll take a look at the standings here for Madison and Chattanooga. Level on points at 36, but they do have the tiebreaker for it. Madison does with 10 wins, and to Chattanooga's 9. Richmond and Tucson trying to push up the standings as well, try to make some late season magic. Take a look at the rest of the schedule. One more match here in week 26. It's Ford Madison hosting North Texas in the final match this season in Madison, and then we get going with week 27 already on Tuesday. FC Tucson will host Greenville, then a triple header coming at you here on ESPN Plus on Friday, starting in Toronto and ending in Tucson. One more break. We'll come back with highlights in the second half right after this here on ESPN Plus. Just about set to start this second half. It's 0-0 between Tucson and the Richmond Kickers. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. There weren't a ton of highlights to show you, but still some chances for both sides in the first 45 minutes. Early on, Tucson was trying to get going into the box. They were putting a lot of pressure on this Richmond back line. This cross came all the way through for Ramon Howell on the volley. He couldn't quite find the frame of the goal. Sent that one out of play. Then another opportunity coming through this left side. Jose Turon slipping it in for Jamga. Jamga then back for Jose Turon. This was a pretty good opportunity at the back post by Wheeler Amanu, but unable to put it on frame. Wheeler Amanu actually had to come off injured from this match, so he is done for the evening. It was Stripling who came on for him, and then they came into the middle. Jose Turon, good shot from the top of the box, forcing Fitzgerald into a save, and a great catch as well, not to parry that one away. Otherwise, that could have gone right into the path of Jordan Jones. And the half would continue, and the pressure would continue. In the middle, looking for Turon again, and then look at all this space for Wheeler Amanu, just unleashing a low bullet, and right at Fitzgerald, who was able to push it aside. And that was basically how things stood. And take a look at the match stats through one half. 7 shots for FC Tucson and just 1 for the Richmond Kickers. That's just kind of how this game has gone. Not a whole lot to separate these two sides. We'll see if this second half brings things to life just a little bit, as Richmond need to win this game and Tucson really have to do the same. We are just about set to go here for this second 45 minutes. Marina Fonseca, our referee, just waiting for her whistle. The teams will switch ends. There it is, underway here in this second 45 minutes. Who will break through first? Can the home side get on the score sheet, or will it be Richmond to come away with a big result on the road here tonight? It's headed back. Here's Jones deflecting around the box. Shanoski able to chase it down and clear it away. Well, the motivation has definitely been there for Richmond as of late. They've really turned this season around. They were at the bottom of the USL League One standings, or at least towards the bottom. Orlando has been basically in the cellar all season long, but he says on the playoffs, we have to focus on our games. We lost control of our destiny. It could be fascinatingly tight, and obviously they have to win out. But he also says, David Bulow, the attitude has been fantastic, and he's actually using the St. Louis Blues as motivation. And he was watching an interview with the Blues in the playoffs with Conn Smythe Trophy winner Ryan O'Reilly, with Jeremy Roenick. This is all brought up by David Bulow. Just a great anecdote, and saying he's told his team about the St. Louis Blues. So they were last in basically the entire NHL, and then come back to win the Stanley Cup, and maybe it can be a similar last to first situation for Richmond. But that all has to start with a win here tonight. Without a win, that all goes for naught. And on the other side, this FC Tucson team trying to figure out how to overturn a 9-0 combined score in the last 2 matches. 5 of those goals came against Lansing 2 weeks ago, and 1 week ago at Greenville, they lost 4-0. So they're really trying to find a formula that can make them a little bit more successful down this final 4-game stretch here at home of this season. But in order for really any of these two teams for their season to really kick into gear here in the final few weeks, 3 points is nearly a necessity. Here's Devin Jamga. Maybe he's a guy who Tucson can turn to. Cross into the middle, glances off the head of Jones. Falls for Turon. He'll send it back in. A little bit too tall. Looking for Jones in there. And this one comes out for Gallardo. Eventually kicked down field once again. Here's Eric Vergen. And Lamar Batista. Now Colin Stripling, who was the substitute in that first half, as Wheeler Amanu had to make way. Cross towards the near post. It's cut out. And a throw-in. That sub happening right at the start of stoppage time. The 45th minute. The only sub used so far. Hosworth. Back in the middle for Stripling. He gets it back after the deflected pass. Hosworth again. Room to work in the middle. Teeing up a shot. And this one will go wide. Ramon Howell trying his best effort on the volley. Another look at it here. Right off his chest. And a lot of room once again in the middle. It's not open up for Wheeler Amanu early on. Unable to find something there. Played through the middle. The clearance by Fitzgerald. This pressure is continuing by FC Tucson. It's making it very difficult for Richmond to get any sort of flow going, getting into the attack. It's basically how they've had to play. Long ball over the top, and then they've had to win that second ball. Gallardo gets dragged down. Vergen commits the foul. A free kick upcoming for Richmond. All sent forward. It's Jackson. Gets swarmed by black jerseys, but gets it wide. Now it's Gallardo. A low shot towards that near post. And out of play for a goal kick for Carlos Marancio. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. So you look at the second half goals, that's compared to the first half goals. There was 14-8 in favor of Tucson. A little bit more of the scoring has gone on in the second 45 minutes. Hosworth, someone over the top, looking for Tyrone. Darren Sawatsky has said has been an instrumental leader down the stretch of this season. A great example maker is what he exactly said. Troyer trying to win it back. Unable to. Stripling wide for Jamga. He takes a shot, and it's just wide of that post. He wasn't far away. You can feel Tucson really starting to build forward towards something. Jamga got on his right peg. Fired it just a little bit too wide. Tucson look to play out. Here's Vergen. Howell distributes wide for Hosworth. And the foul will be called against Ivan Magalis or against Devin Jamga. And now an opportunity from a set piece for FC Tucson. Vergen will stride over to take this. Vergen puts his right foot through it towards the back post. Headed towards goal. Batista got his head to it and distributed quickly over the top. Here's Gallardo trying to get on the end of it. Tyrone is back. just let this roll out for a goal kick. That's exactly what he'll do. Well done by Tyrone, who was tracking back. He's been playing farther up the pitch tonight, almost a left winger position. Gallardo also has to be careful, already on a yellow card. Here's Hosworth, trying to find some space for Jomga to run into, and he does. One-time cross into the middle. Jones is able to collect it. Jones back on his left now. Gets it wide for Batista. There's Howell there. He's going to play it for Vergen, and now here's Luke Hosworth. He'll take a shot on, pushed away. Stripling was there in the middle, and very well done by Shinosky to clear that one away. Fearless defending by the center back for Richmond. A great save as well by Akira Fitzgerald. Now back the other way. It's Joe Gallardo. Gallardo splits the double team. Unable to split the second one. Still gets it back and then gets taken down. And Richmond, a good set piece opportunity. Cody Wakasa doesn't like it. And it looks like there will be a yellow card. Looks like that's for the captain, Kyle Venter. We think it's Venter. In the meantime, Richmond setting up a set piece opportunity. It's Gallardo, and it's Thompson standing over this, and what a big goal this could be. And yes, confirmation, the yellow card to Venter. So it's Thompson or Gallardo. What an opportunity this can be for the Richmond Kickers. Gallardo goes for goal. It's off the crossbar. It's still there, and now it's headed away. Oh man, that was so close for Richmond's number 10. And now a throw-in here for the Richmond Kickers. What an effort by Gallardo, looking for his 7th goal on the season. Couldn't quite find the nylon. And that's a handball by Tyrone. Set piece opportunity once again for Richmond. This one off to that right side. Another look at that free kick. Boy, I mean, it was so close to the top of the 18-yard box where he had to get it over the wall and then get it under the bar, and he just couldn't quite get it under the bar. And now it's a free kick for Richmond on the far side, and it's Scott Thompson who will go over to take it. Thompson towards the near post, headed away by Jones. Falls for Lockaby, another ball in. Headed away by Wakasa. And now it's a foot race for it. It's Bolduc. Eventually wins it back for Richmond and keeps possession. Just for the meantime, now a throw-in. Aaron Sawatsky trying to put his players in the right spot as they try to find 3 points here at home. The last time these two teams played back on June 8th, it was right here at Keno Sports Complex, and it also was a 0-0 draw. This ball sent downfield. Now into the middle. There's Troyer. Now it's Kraft playing it wide. A few more positive moments into the attack here in this second half for Richmond, as you might expect in this second half. But still the pressure being shown by Tucson. Still 2 bagels up on the scoreboard. comes to Bolduc. And out for another throw-in. Lockaby puts it back in play. Riding that width. Now cutting in field. In the middle, and it's cleared away. Shinoski will send this back. For Akira Fitzgerald in goal. There's Daniel Jackson as he holds play up and is able to keep possession for Richmond. One of the keys for Darren Sawatsky this week when talking about Richmond was you have to win set pieces and not give things away. This one will go out for a corner kick, giving away a corner kick. But he thinks overall they match up well. But he did say they do have to keep account of Joe Gallardo, and I think so far they've done that, but he's also found a few moments. He's gotten loose just a little bit. So here is Joe Gallardo. An in-swinger from this near side. Going for goal, it's there for Richmond. The shot, it's still around, and now it's cleared out of play. Oh, the ball was just sitting there waiting. But eventually Tucson was quick enough to it to clear it away. Great service in by Gallardo. It was there for Akwe. Looked like it hit Shinoski, then it was saved away by Wakasa before he finally cleared it out of play. And now another corner on the other side. It's Scott Thompson. So right at the hour mark. Towards the back post. Too tall for Wahab Akwe. David Bulow knows what is on the line here tonight. It's elimination for the Richmond Kickers. We're in the final half hour. For Richmond to keep their season alive, they've got to find something. By the same token, if Tucson can't find a goal and 3 points tonight, their playoff percentage severely decreases. Gallardo, well, he is just slipping away from defenders. The cross in, it's taken by Marancio. Now it's Stripling, coming right through the middle. He found a gap there on the far side. Now he'll slow things up and play it wide. Jamga making the run. Beautiful first touch to bring it down. Jamga. Play it back for Howell. Players in the box. Played wide for Jamga. Now it's Howell. Here's Vergen. Cosworth now. Now it's Howell looking for Jones. He has not had too many opportunities. Jones takes a shot and it's not too far away. Just buzzing over the crossbar. I'll call that an opportunity for Jordan Jones. Beautifully done on the turn. Got on his right foot. Just found a small window to take the shot on. It hits the fence behind the goal. So close there for Tucson's 99. I feel like He's just a sleeping giant right now. You can see what Richmond have done this season. They're the only team to hold Tucson scoreless. It's pretty remarkable. Ball played over the top, and this will roll all the way back from Marancio. Gallardo chasing as well. Janoski. 26 minutes plus stoppage time to go. A giveaway. Here's Howell. It falls for Jamga now. Room on that far side. Jones goes down. Play will continue. Jones gets it back. Beautiful footwork to keep possession. It's Batista now. His cross headed away. Richmond just absorbing punches now. Ball glances off the head, and this will roll out of play and a goal kick. Fans who can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Howell's able to win it back. Gallardo was asking for a foul. Now it's Tyrone. Played ahead for Colin Stripling. Trying to create something. It took a deflection and it did go out off of the Richmond kickers, and it will be a corner kick. The only soccer game tonight at Keno Sports Complex. Bergen takes it short. Now a ball sent in. Dangerous one. Wakasa was up for it. And this one out of play. Service by Tyrone. And Wakasa, boy, he was close. Just not able to direct it on frame. Kira Fitzgerald, 2 clean sheets, have yet to allow a goal. It's Tucson this season. Here's Jones. Jones takes a shot, took a deflection. It goes wide. And another corner kick for FC Tucson. Both teams have had opportunities here in the second half. Still unable to find that elusive opening goal. Jose Tyrone over to take this. Towards the back post area. Back into the middle. Play will continue. Richmond was asking for a foul. Batista, and it's headed back to Akira Fitzgerald. Bergen now in the middle, pulling the strings in that midfield for Tucson. Wide for Tyrone. Cross in towards Fitzgerald. Akwe was flying in. You could hear Fitzgerald yell, keeper. Great distribution there, just a little bit too far for Scott Thompson. Another look at that cross. Akwe, I think, lucky to get out of the way of it. Luckily for Richmond, there was not a Tucson player waiting to knock that in. Now it's Ramon Howell. Final match here on this Saturday night in USL League One, Week 26, but it ends tomorrow, Week 26, in Madison, Wisconsin. The regular season champions make their second trip to the capital of Wisconsin. In the middle, there's Matt Bolduc. Will turn away and then gets tripped up by Ramon Howell. Bolduc asking for a yellow card there on Howell. And he will get his wish. So Ramon Howell into the book. And along with Joe Gallardo and Kyle Venter. A lot of room to work there for Bolduc, and I think a smart foul there by Howell to take the foul. Portmore, Jamaica. All played wide. Jackson's in the middle. Lockerbie couldn't quite find him. Batista again. Batista tangled legs with Wahab Akwe. Reina Fonseca has another decision to make. This will be a yellow card for Wahab Akwe. Here it is again. Akwe going in, the challenge there with Batista. I understand if it was, actually no, I don't know if I do. That's an interesting call there by Reina Fonseca, I must say. It looked like they just got their legs tangled up. Here is the substitution. It will be Charles Boateng to come on, the native of Ghana. Scored 4 goals in the US Open Cup match earlier this season against Virginia United, the first player in club history to score 4 goals in one match. Trying to provide some attacking threat. It was Riley Kraft who made way. Here's Stripling. Under 20 minutes to go. And we're still scoreless. A goal in this match would really change the complexion of this USL League One season. Not to be dramatic or anything. Ball played in the middle. Jordan Jones. Still there at the top of the box. Richmond will look to play out through this pressure again. Tucson usually a team that's so dangerous on the counter, but tonight it seems like it's been Richmond out on the counter. Here's Jackson. Boateng, he'll take a shot on, and it's parried away by Marancio. What do you feel like? It was a good shot in the end, but there were some options there for Boateng, but he wanted to let one go. It was a tricky hop right in front of Marancio. He was able to hop on top of it as well. And now Now some pressure being shown by the Richmond Kickers. Boateng for Gallardo. Back for Boateng. He gets taken down from behind. Kyle Venter has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card tonight. And that is a yellow card, and Kyle Venter, the captain, has seen red. That is the end of the night for Kyle Venter, the captain and center back, a leader for this FC Tucson team, will miss the final 16 minutes, and he will also miss Tuesday's match against Greenville. What a development here in the late stages tonight here in Tucson, but absolutely the right call. Once you put the hand on the back, doesn't matter really how much pressure you put on it. He also got his legs tangled up. I think a good call by Reina Fonseca. And Kyle Venter is done for the evening. He's handed off the captain's armband. That is it for the center back. Tough way to go out for Venter. Only one sub has been used by either side, and maybe we'll see a few more. Scott DeVos is the only listed defender on the bench tonight for FC Tucson. Once again, another great free kick opportunity coming for Richmond. Gallardo and Thompson stand over it. This one will be Thompson going for goal, and he forces a save out of Carlos Marancio. So Tucson down to 10 men, and Richmond with 15 minutes to go. Can they find a winning goal here tonight? And now how much does the style of how Tucson wants to play, how much does that change here in this last 15 minutes? They put a lot of pressure on this Richmond team, but I'm sure there'll be some moments where they can come forward. Lamar Batista is also another center back, played forward for Boateng, his shot. It's saved by Marancio. The second yellow card for Kyle Venter. You wonder now if Batista will slide over to the other center back position where he's played earlier this season. Maybe they bring on another substitute here in a few moments. But we'll see how Darren Sawatsky wants to play this. It just got a whole lot more difficult tonight for FC Tucson. You can see that Tucson maybe just a little bit out of sorts now. Giving the ball away. And really now feel like Richmond can take the game to Tucson here in the last 15 minutes. For Gallardo. Let's see what he can do. Is Boateng at the top, the cross in the middle. Jackson's header is taken by Carlos Marancio. You also wonder how much Richmond is missing Dennis Chin here tonight, who did not make the trip here to Tucson, but an integral player as of late with 5 goals for this Richmond team this season. Coming in league play. This one off the side of the foot there by Ivan Magalis. Osworth will win another throw-in. You can really start to feel the pressure setting in if you're David Bulow. A must-win game. It's Ramon Howell. This one played wide, looking for Jamga, and it's out for a goal kick. Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings only on USLLeague1.com. Tucson down to 10 men. It's Tucson looking for their first goal this season against Richmond as well. Last time these two teams played here in Tucson, it was a 0-0 draw. And that 2-0 win for Richmond back on May 11th. Darren Sawatsky said he made some substitutions there at the end that maybe made it a little bit more difficult to keep Richmond out, but they were going for a win or a draw, some result on the road, and didn't end up coming. This will be a foul against Jordan Jones. Ellsworth will take this one back to Batista. Batista will send this way over the top, headed away by Magalis. He did fall for Jamga, unable to keep possession. And Troyer will send it downfield. Gallardo on the ball, always dangerous. To the near side and a little bit too far for Thompson. And now it's Jamga into the middle for Stripling. Jones back for Stripling. It's Ramon Howell. Stripling towards the back post area. Jones will head this right back. Or he won't get it, his head on it. Lockerbie will head it straight back to Fitzgerald. Aquay unable to play it through. Batista the interception. Another ball. Fitzgerald had to come off his line. It was offside. Richmond put it back in play quickly. You can sense the urgency now. Up next for Tucson is Taco Tuesday when they welcome in Greenville Triumph. $1 Taco Tuesday. It's a pretty good deal. Tacos in Tucson. Looks like another sub now to come on here for Tucson in a moment. Daniel Jackson can't keep possession, and play will continue with Eric Fergan. Will be Zach Wright preparing to come on here in just a moment. Aquay wins the header. Tucson keep the ball. This one sent straight out of play. And we will get the substitution now. Devin Jamga will make way for Zach Wright. Guillermo Delgado will also come on. Darren Sawatsky really going for it here. It will be Tyrone to come off. So now all three subs have been used. And those two very much attack-minded substitutions. Just getting some fresh legs on the field here at the end. Only that one sub has been used by David Bulow in Richmond. They're waiting. Now Ramon Howell charging forward. Here's Ramon Howell, gets tripped up. And this will be a free kick coming for FC Tucson. This will be a yellow card. Oh, that's a red card for Connor Shanoski. Shanoski's night is over, and that is 10 on 10 now. The second match tonight. We go 10v10 here in USL League One. And one of the leaders of the backline of Richmond now will head off. I'm not sure he was the last defender. Well, he might have been. He tripped up. He was the last defender. I wasn't sure where Magalis was, but on that look, you could definitely tell he was behind the play. Shanoski, he really had to do it. Otherwise, might have been it. So, a red card to both center backs, and we're also getting substitutions on now. Utai Mwape coming on for Matt Bolduck. I think we'll wait for the second one that was preparing to come on. So Bolduck's night is done, and now it's a free kick for FC Tucson. Crazy end. There was about 5 minutes left. So Bolduck makes his way off. There is Mwape striding on. It's Vergen and Delgado. Who will take it? Will be Vergen, steps up, and just a little bit too high. 5 minutes to go, and still looking for a goal. Both teams have had set piece opportunities from very good positions. Vergen couldn't quite bend it down. It's basically the same spot that Joe Gallardo took it on the other end. The same thing where they couldn't quite get it over the wall and then under the bar. 5 minutes to go. Giveaway by Gallardo. Here's Vergen. Here is the final substitution for Richmond. Was that another yellow card for Wahab Akwe? It was, and his night is done. Oh, absolute disaster here at the end for the Richmond Kickers. If that is to Wahab Akwe, he's already gotten a yellow card tonight. Oh, hold on. We have some things to sort out now. So this is Wahab Akwe's second yellow card, or at least we think. He got one in the 71st, but he is continuing to play. Oh boy, this is wild. Morena Fonseca, I guess, just hasn't realized. Nobody's realized. Unless he did make his way off. Well, he is off the field now. All right. As play continued, he left the pitch. So now it's 10v9. Tucson now have the advantage after two red cards to the two center backs, two of the three center backs for the Richmond Kickers. So Akwe is out, Shanoski's out for Richmond. Josh Hughes just came on. A wild finish to this match. So Hughes came on for Troyer. So now it's Tucson with the man advantage. This would be a remarkable comeback should we get it. And that is a head injury, and asking for the trainers to come on. I think that was a collision of heads there. So here is the red card. And you can see her, she did have the red card out. And I guess the locker room is kind of towards this side of the field, and you can see him then make the slow walk off. And the red card it's labeled as dissent for Waha Bakwe. So 3 red cards have been issued tonight. So far this season, Reina Fonseca has taken charge of 2 USL League One matches. It was actually Toronto and Tucson right here on April 14th. And then on May 11th, Orlando City B going to North Texas. She gave out 6 total cards in those 2 matches. No yellow cards, or excuse me, no red cards. And now she's given away 2 red cards here tonight. It's now 10v9. Tucson with 10. Richmond with 9, and all the red cards have been to center backs on both sides. And this is a must-win match for both of these teams. We're going to get a healthy amount of stoppage time, you'd think, at the end. The cross into the box, it's taken by Marancio. And now Tucson trying to push up the field. Magales, the last standing center back on the field. Here's Howell. And we will get 5 minutes of stoppage time. Now it's Zach Wright. Zach Wright taking a shot or a cross. This will be a cross. And will stay in play with Delgado on the far side. Another ball in. Headed towards goal. It's off the crossbar. Wright is there. The whistle comes. And offside is the call. Another look at it here. Cross in, it was headed, and Wright was in an offside position at the time of that header. Fitzgerald will put this back in play. 4 minutes to go. Richmond season basically hanging in the balance. Ball played over the top for Jordan Jones. He couldn't keep his feet. Can he keep possession? Stripling was charging forward. He couldn't. Now trying to spring free another attack. This will go all the way back to Marancio. Time winding down. Here's Hosworth. Here's Howell now, flipping it into the box. Moved forward by Magales. Gallardo unable to win the race against Batista. Now it's Vergen for Stripling. Plenty of suspense here. The cross going for goal. There were 3 players in the middle of the box. I believe it was Delgado who went for goal. Under 3 minutes to go now. Remember, in the first half, they said there was supposed to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. We only got 2.5. So what will we get here at the end of this second half? Jones hits it forward for Zach Wright. Wright, possession is, or excuse me, advantage is played. Wright into the middle. The shot, it goes wide. What an opportunity right in the middle for Eric Vergen. Well, he's had 2 opportunities to find the winning goal here in the past few minutes, and he's missed on both. Advantage was played. Right, his cross, it was right on the money. Stripling plays it wide for Wright again. In the middle for Stripling. Stripling loses possession. Now it's Boateng. Stripling tracking back, and that will be a foul on Colin Stripling. Seven cards in this match in total, including 6 here in this second half. 1 minute to go. Vergen, he will play it wide. Chance coming, Delgado into the middle, deflected away. This might be the last opportunity for Tucson to find something out of this match. It's Eric Vergen. Remember, Tucson playing a man up. 10v9, Stripling. Batista, low drive, it's parried away by Fitzgerald. 30 seconds to go. And it will stay in here. Tucson, one final chance, another cross in. Headed away by Magalis. Stripling will keep it in. Now it's headed away. Wakasa plays it wide for Zach Wright. Last chance saloon. Hosworth the cross, sends it out of play. That might be all she wrote tonight. There is the final whistle, and we end where we started. 0-0 here in Tucson. I don't think either team happy about the result. And a hug between the two coaches. Both teams just let it all out on the field tonight. What a display by both of these teams, but unable to find a goal. That has to sting for the Richmond Kickers. Their chances of making the playoffs almost go to nothing. And FC Tucson, they decrease by a little bit as well, making these final 3 matches nearly must win for Tucson, but they're all at home. So it ends 0-0 tonight from Tucson, Arizona. We'll come back and wrap things up. Both these teams let it all out on the field tonight. There were chances both ways. It ended with just 19 players total on the pitch. We will come back and wrap things up from Tucson right after this. It ends Tucson 0, Richmond 0. A wild second half here in Tucson, Arizona, but it finishes 0-0 between FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers tonight. Let's take a look at the highlights from this match. There were plenty of chances both ways, but in the end, just couldn't find a goal. There were chances in the first half and then in the second as well. Here was a second half opportunity. It came for FC Tucson, just fighting for the ball. Stripling won it back. He was looking for Jamga, and his shot wasn't too far away. But they would keep on coming forward, using that pressure to win the ball back. Then on the other end, Gallardo goes down and earns himself in Richmond a free kick. This was maybe the closest Richmond came to scoring tonight. Bangs it off the crossbar. And we would keep on going at 0-0. Then Ramon Howell trying to get something started. Looking for Jordan Jones. And this is really well done by Jones. Wasn't too far away on that occasion either, but just sends it a little bit too high. Tucson, once they got the man advantage at the end, they were just peppering the box. This one off the crossbar, but Wright was offside and couldn't follow up. So close there as well. And in the end, it would be 0-0, but there would be plenty of chances. A wild match with 3 yellow cards, 2 to Richmond and 1 to FC Tucson. So Venture will not play the next match. And on the other end for Richmond, it will be Shanoski and Akwe to miss out. So you take a look at all of those cards at the bottom. Yes, 7 cards in total. The possession was split down the middle. The shots go to Tucson, but the chances were there for Richmond. 3 shots on target to 6 for FC Tucson. The chances of Richmond now making the playoffs, pretty close to 0, but you know, there always is still a small chance. Here's the scoreboard from the night. And yesterday, Lansing and Tormenta draw 1-1. Chattanooga gets a big 2-1 win, while Greenville holds on to that 3rd spot with a 3-1 win over Toronto. And here are the updated standings. If Madison wins tomorrow, Richmond and Tucson would be eliminated. So a huge match tomorrow in Madison, Wisconsin, and a lot riding on that one, but they have to face the champions in North Texas tomorrow, 5 o'clock on ESPN Plus at Breese Stevens Field. That is sure to be a fun one. Plenty of teams will be looking at that. The upcoming schedule, all in Mountain Standard Time. We get going tomorrow at 5 Eastern Time, 2 Pacific, 2 Mountain Time, and then we get going once again. It's $1 Taco Tuesday in Tucson on Tuesday. And they still have stuff to play for should Madison drop points tomorrow. Then a triple header Friday, and then Saturday we close out week 27 with Chattanooga and Richmond. A wild night in the desert to close out this Saturday night in USL League One. But we finish where we started. No goals between FC Tucson and the Richmond Kickers. That's going to do it here from the Keno Sports Complex. For our entire crew, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Tucson, Arizona. It finishes Tucson 0 and Richmond 0. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow from Madison.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.